This is the Suicide Risk Protocol document. It can be found on the T drive, which will soon be moved to the cloud. It is a document that gives us a flow chart as to what we should do in case of a student or any person in this building showing signs of suicidal actions. You'll notice the first thing is that you would notice there would be a suicidal statement or notice a suicidal action. It's at that moment you should determine the risk. Is this person in imminent harm? Do they have a plan and do they have the means to arm themselves, or are they acting at this moment? If so, call the police immediately and also support staff. After you call the police, you should call the grade level OP to get in connection with the grade level administrator. They will then call the other professionals needed for support. If you determine that the risk is a low level of threat, that the student has expressed thoughts of suicide but maybe hasn't made a plan yet, then you would still call the grade level OP, who will get in a hold of your principal, and they will gather support staff. Really, a teacher stays at step 1 in this flow chart. Any school employee who identifies a student as expressing suicidal thoughts will immediately contact a building administrator and/or support staff member, a social worker, psychologist, counselor, or nurse to discuss these concerns. You have to take all of these threats seriously. No matter what they are, you should turn any threat in that you hear. At this point, it is when the admin and the support staff will take over. Either a 911 has already been called, or they will determine what needs to happen next. Parent meetings follow, as well as plans for this particular student's future. If we scroll down to the second page of this document, we get the actual risk protocol, where we put in our information, the description of the incident, the follow-up plan. Again, this part of the document is purely for administration and support staff, such as counselors. It is not for a teacher to fill out. And finally, the last page of this document is a list of resources. But with the note, if you or someone you know is thinking about suicide, call 911 first. That is the suicide protocol document. I'm going to scroll quickly to the top again. Remember, if someone makes a suicidal statement or action, determine your risk first. If it's imminent harm, call the police immediately. If it's a low level of threat, call the office professional for your grade level to get a hold of the grade level administrator. No matter what you do, make sure you are helping that student or person within this building stay as safe as possible so that a life can be saved.